Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at something pretty significant. India's fast-tracked launch of a special kind of satellite.
That's right. And the context here is crucial. It's coming right after that awful terrorist attack in Pahalgam.
Yes, where tragically 26 people lost their lives. It really underscores the urgency.
It does.
So, our mission in this deep dive is to really understand why this satellite is such a big deal for India's security. What can it actually do?
We'll get into the tech, its purpose, and, what it means for keeping an eye on the borders.
Okay, so the Pahalgam attack with that terrible loss of life is the immediate trigger here.
It certainly appears to be the catalyst for speeding things up, yes.
Yeah.
It highlights this need for better, more constant surveillance.
Right. Now, this term gets thrown around spy satellite. It sounds very dramatic. What are we actually talking about here?
Well, in essence, it's a radar imaging satellite. Its main job is observing, monitoring what's happening on the ground.
Okay, observation. But what's special about this one?
The key is its capability. It works day or night, and crucially, it can see through clouds, all weather conditions.
So bad weather or darkness doesn't stop it.
Exactly. There's a quote that sums it up nicely. It is very hard to hide assets on the ground from this bird in the sky.
Bird in the sky. I like that. So persistent visibility.
That's the core advantage. This all-weather day and night vision makes it a really powerful tool.
Let's get specific then. The satellite is EOS-09, launched on a PSLV C-61 rocket. What's the tech inside that makes it work?
The heart of it is a C-band synthetic aperture radar, SAR for short.
SAR. Sounds complex. What does that mean in plain terms?
Okay, think of it kind of like how a bat uses sound to see. The SAR sends out radar signals,
Right.
and then it reads the echoes that bounce back to build a really detailed picture of the ground.
So it's not just taking photos like a regular camera, it's actively pinging the ground.
Precisely. It generates its own illumination, you could say, using radar waves. That's why clouds and darkness don't blind it.
That makes sense. Active sensing versus passive light collection.
You got it. And that's the edge over traditional optical satellites.
Now, India already has some pretty advanced eyes in the sky, doesn't it? I'm thinking of Cartosat 3.
Absolutely. Cartosat 3 is incredibly sophisticated. Its resolution is amazing, less than half a meter. Very sharp images.
So why the need for EOS-09 if Cartosat 3 is so good?
Well, Cartosat 3 has a key limitation. Because it's optical, like a very powerful camera, it gets blinded at night.
Okay. So when the sun goes down.
Exactly. There's a gap in coverage. Things could happen on the ground, under the cover of darkness, that Cartosat 3 would miss.
And EOS-09 fills that gap.
That's the critical difference.
Yeah.
EOS-09, with its radar, never gets blinded. It provides continuous surveillance, 247.
That seems like a fundamental shift in capability. Not just better images, but constant coverage.
It really is. And the strategic implications are huge. It boosts India's ability to watch its borders, monitor activity, much more effectively.
It must make it harder for anyone trying to move things or conceal assets near the border.
Substantially harder. That persistent eye, seeing through weather and night, removes a lot of cover.
And this satellite, EOS-09, it joins a larger network.
Yes, it's not alone up there. India already operates over 50 satellites for various purposes. This adds a crucial piece to that space infrastructure.
So it's part of a broader strategy using space for national security.
Definitely. And the Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, really pushed this launch. The chairman, Dr. V. Narayanan, apparently described their approach as being in campaign mode.
Campaign mode shows the urgency.
It does. And Dr. Jitendra Singh, the Union Minister for Science and Technology, also highlighted these all-weather day-night capabilities as being key.
It's interesting, too, looking globally. We saw mentions of SpaceX launching missions and ROL missions. For the U.S., new spy satellites there, too.
That's a good point. It shows this isn't happening in isolation. Enhancing space-based surveillance is, well, it's a global trend among major powers.
So the U.S. is also investing heavily in next-gen capabilities.
Seems so. These NRO missions point towards upgrading their own intelligence gathering from space. Everyone wants that persistent, high-fidelity view.
Okay, so let's sort of recap. India's accelerating the EOS-09 launch, this radar satellite.
Directly in response, it seems, to the security situation highlighted by the Pahalgam attack.
And its main advantage is that it sees continuously day, night, cloud, shine.
Exactly. It plugs that critical gap left by optical satellites that are blinded by darkness or bad weather.
Giving India a much stronger hand in border security and monitoring.
It significantly reduces the blind spots. enhancing their overall situational awareness and potentially acting as a deterrent.
It really drives home how space tech is becoming central to national security, doesn't it? It makes you think, about where this is all headed.
Absolutely. The pace of change in surveillance tech is remarkable.
Perhaps something for you, the listener, to ponder is how these advancements, these ever-present eyes in the sky, are reshaping security dynamics and maybe even international relations. It might be interesting to look into how surveillance tech continues to evolve or the strategic weight these space assets carry.
A fascinating area for sure.
Indeed. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive today.